Well, if you wanted a Mofo Friday, you came to the right place. Plusers, good to see you again. Welcome back to the Damon Brew Show here. Friday, February 23rd. A very slow week of sports news. Pretty much in our rearview mirror. Good thing to get the NBA back in full force last night. Bunch of games were on. Warriors handled their jobs against the LeBron-less Lakers. We'll get to all that. But we have been waiting all week for the defensive coordinator announcement that has yet to happen, which makes me think a couple of things. Let's get into it. And by the way, it is great to see you already. People chatting it up. I see our man, Old Dirty Hungus, wishing everybody a happy Mofo Friday. Doing ear infection urgent care with the little girl today. With you all in spirit. I can't even tell you how much you are with my family in spirit because Jack was in urgent care about a week ago with an ear infection. As a matter of fact, last night we wrapped up the doses of amoxicillin or penicillin or whatever the hell the kids get to get rid of their ear infection. So those suck. One parent to another, deep sympathies. That's rough out there. Hopefully your little girl is feeling better. Again, we get to know people and their families over here. It's an awesome little community. It really is. Great to see so many friendly faces and names. Remember, everybody, we've got a Plus Mania 3 coming up on March 3rd. More details coming up a little bit later. But I want to hop into the big story that hasn't happened yet. And that is the 49ers defensive coordinator vacancy. Now, look, I have never in my entire career on air pretended to be a journalist for a minute. But what I am is in the media. At least I was. Kind of still am. It's a new media. It's a weird world. Anyways, when you're in the media, as long as I've been in the media, you start to figure out how these things work. And if you got a story that you're really proud of, if you really want people talking about it, you get that out there first thing on a Monday morning. You want that Monday, Tuesday. You want it by lunchtime Tuesday. That way everybody has all week to talk about it. Things that you'd rather just sort of slip away, that you don't want an awful lot of lion's share of attention on. This is where we have created the Friday News Dump. The Friday News Dump is real, boys and girls. That Friday, 5 o'clock, here is the transaction, the trade, the signing, the cut, the wave that you'd rather not hear about or deal with, or we don't want the blowback from our fans or whatever. Friday afternoon is when the least impressive headlines are rolled out, so people don't really focus on them. It'll be all new news by Monday. So having said all that, let me say this. If this afternoon, this Friday afternoon here on February 23rd, we find out that the 49ers have made a defensive coordinator hire, I'll bet you it's Brandon Staley. Because Brandon Staley there's a few boxes that he's ticking off here. The relationship with Shanahan, yes. Having a relationship with Kyle makes this a little bit more of an inside job, even though he wouldn't be coming from inside the building, obviously. But it's the kind of negotiations that could be kept quiet. Bringing in Bill Belichick is something that's not going to be kept quiet. Like, there is just a level of media attention and scrutiny and investigation that goes on the East Coast that the West Coast is essentially devoid of when it comes to sports. Like, I guarantee you there is some New England Patriots beat writer whose entire modus operandi is tracking car services to see who is renting Lincoln Continentals to bring them to airports to fly for jobs, and they're tracking, planes' tail numbers, and they track movement, like literal physical movement, in a way that just nobody on the West Coast is trying to cover sports like that. I really do feel that if this were to be Bill Belichick, something would have been leaked or talked about or said by now. So even though, X's and O's and it never snows, Billy, come on out. Weather's great. I want it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. It was a pipe dream. We said as much. Brandon Staley might not be a bad hire, but it feels like the kind of hire that would create the most fan anxiety and scrutiny and negative attention for something that's supposed to be like a new chapter that everyone's going to be excited about. I don't feel a lot of fans would be very excited to hear that Brandon Staley is the next defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers. He had an inglorious run as head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, and at no point in time was their defense like some exemplary, wanna-be more like them unit. So it wouldn't land well. Doesn't even mean it's a bad hire, by the way. Brandon Staley, last time he was a defensive coordinator, he was helping the Rams win a Super Bowl. So he does know what he's doing on that side of the ball. Maybe an over his head as a head coach, but it didn't really translate to any sort of success or any bragging rights. Like, you know, this is totally unfair, but, you know, kids, I got a surprise for you. What is it, Dad? It's Brandon Staley. Okay. Not exactly what we asked for. I don't even think I really wanted it, but it might work out. It might work out. And so that's the kind of hire that if we are to hear about it this Friday, like it feels like Brandon Staley might be it. So we'll see if it actually happens. I thought it was something that would be announced by the end of the week. It has yet to be announced. Maybe we'll be breaking in with an emergency show a little bit later on this afternoon. Hopefully I don't get myself too happy-houred to prevent that from happening. Chris Kiffin is still a name that I think would be worthy of waiting on until Monday to announce. And it's also kind of a deal that you could get done under the radar. Chris Kiffin has a tie to the 49ers, used to be their linebackers coach, went with D'Amico to Houston, and obviously is a rising name. Jeff Ulbricht's name has been bandied about in the last 48 hours more than it was the previous 48 hours, which means maybe that is a little bit more of a reality. Again, ties to the franchise. He's got them. Very good defensive year with the New York Jets last year. Certainly more of a what have you done for me lately resume to be impressed by Jeff Ulbrich. Should he be the hire? But again, if it happens today, it just feels like Brandon Staley would be the name you kind of try to sneak in there on a Friday afternoon. How many people are paying attention? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'd be so excited about that they'd want to go full fanfare. Come on out to the press conference. It's a big deal. I don't know. But it just feels a little like this is being kept very close to the vest. We haven't had any. Well, look, you know, with all due respect to everyone who officially covers as journalists the 49ers for a living, I can't think of one local beat writer who has broken a story. It all comes from like Schefter or, you know, Rappaport. It all comes from network guys. But it doesn't feel like there's any local leaning, digging whispers that anybody has reported. Maybe this is from the East Coast. Who knows? But again, if it were coming from the East Coast, I feel like we would have heard something about it. Some Jets beat writer would have already said, you know, Ulbrich is in line to go ahead and take that Niner job. You know, like it would have just happened. There'd be something going, which kinds me. I'm leaning into Chris Kiffin being the hire just based on the silence around this. And I'm officially trying to play three-dimensional chess here. So thanks for playing along with me. By the way, we had a little bit of a fugazi sip of the day yesterday. I even admitted that we were well past peak ideal temperature. There it is. That was a good sip of the day right there. So we're officially designating that not a Friday news dump sip of the day, but a legit sip of the day. All right. By the way, Barry Ford checking in. Bang, bang from Memphis. Bang, bang, Barry. Thank you very much for watching from Memphis. I had a great time on Beale Street when I was in college. Great night on Beale Street. Let's see. Other NFL news to let you know about. We've got a bigger salary cap coming our way than ever before. And by the way, two quarterbacks have restructured their deals for more cap space. They might have wanted to know about the increasing salary cap before they did that, but everybody still gets paid. Just money comes out differently in the math. The Saints and Derek Carr Not exactly the most perfect marriage we've ever seen. Some rocky, bumpy times in their first year together. Well, lots of his salary got converted into a signing bonus to clear up about $23 million in cap space for the New Orleans Saints, who are looking to get about $80 million under the apron because they have overspent and kicked too many. That's going to get expensive cans down the road. Carr, who is 32, just came off his first season with the Saints, threw for almost 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. It was unimpressive the entire way through, basically, as were the Saints, who finished 9-8 and lost in the NFC South tiebreaker to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he's under contract through 2026. He probably won't even last that long. Derek Carr doesn't feel like he is going to go down as a huge hit in New Orleans, but he makes things a little bit easier restructuring. By the way, a little restructuring happening in the NFC West with Geno Smith. The Seattle Seahawks have converted $9.6 million of his roster bonus into a signing bonus that opens up about $4.8 million in cap space for the Seahawks going forward. That was reported by Field Yates of ESPN. So there you go. It is approaching combine time. It's approaching draft time, which means we are officially in an off season, which means clear some cap space. And speaking of cap space, there is more of it than ever before, or probably anyone could have ever imagined when the very first salary cap was installed in 94? Was that the first year of the cap? It was $34.6 million. Your entire roster had to come in for $34.6 million. That doesn't even cover a starting quarterback salary anymore. It's good to be in the NFL. Everybody's made quite a bit of money. An increase of $30 million to the salary cap. It is unprecedented. We've never seen it go up that significantly between any one season and the next. Schefter says it's because all the COVID math has been settled. So all of the financial mumbo jumbo that came out of the pandemic and having to have salaries placed in escrow, blah, 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 blah. Like all of that COVID math is officially now in the NFL's rearview mirror. Plus, what is in front of the NFL are extraordinarily successful media deals with a level of attention that is unprecedented. It feels like all playoff games are now covered with the ferocity of what early Super Bowls were covered with, and every regular season game could turn into, oh, well, what do you know, like 40, 50 million people showed up to watch this son of a bitch. It's amazing. It's amazing the amount of people that tune into football, and why not have the salary cap go up? Now, again, $34.6 million back in 1994. 2006 is the first year that the cap broke into 9 figures with a $100 million deal. And now here we are, over $250 million in salary cap. $255.4 million is the new NFL salary cap. To me, more than anything else. If you're asking me, Damon, what is a gift that you would like to give football in terms of you get to make one choice to better everything in the league? Better for players, better for player safety and health, better for coaches, better for fans, better for TV, better for X's and O's, better for all involved. Everyone gets better, to me, if the NFL would grow its roster to 60 players. Your game day roster should be 60 players. Enough of this 53-man whatever who we're drafting. Get it to 60. Everyone wins. Not a penny will be spent on back of the roster depth. So it won't cost the NFL like real money to do this. And it would make the football better, which puts more people into the tent, which means when some guy gets hurt, your understudy's not coming off the practice squad, but he's here every single day, basically. Like, it just adds more depth. It adds more continuity. It means less player movement. This is what football needs. It's what football needs more than anything else. Continuity. This would help with continuity. Continuity makes everything better. If everything is better, everyone wins. Games are better. People watch longer. Games are better. People watch longer. More advertising can be sold. More interested streamers come about looking to get into the business of the NFL. Again, the tent just gets bigger with more continuity applied to this sport. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I don't know. I can't solve the violence in the game. Concussions, broken bones, these things are going to be ever present. You can't remove the danger from football any more than you can remove the gravity from skydiving. It's ever present. But let's make it a little easier. Make it easier to rest guys. Make it easier to not have your team and its ability to execute what it wants to do altered because you are so deep into your roster that it's just, these are guys you'd rather not be playing. Bigger rosters. Grow the roster. If your salary cap is now more than $250 million, let's grow the roster. Let's stop just slapping that up between the same amount of dudes. And obviously, if you're the same amount of dudes, you're saying, hey, shut up with adding more dudes to the pie. We want what we can get. All right. Speaking of getting what you want a good sandwich today? You want a delicious lunch? I want you to go to Uncle Boy's and my man Ike's. We'll get to Uncle Boy's in a second. I got a little ahead of myself there. I'm excited about Uncle Boy's, and I'll tell you why here. But my man Ike, let me tell you, we couldn't do this show without him. Certainly couldn't afford these lights without him and the things that make us sound good and some of the video production that we're going to be infusing into the channel. Again, we're trying to grow. We're trying to get better. I hope you notice these things. Am I lit a little bit better today? Do I look just a touch better? Maybe even a touch, maybe the lighting is complimentary. I'm a touch skinnier. Woo. By the way, you can make your sandwiches skinny at Ike's. They'll hollow out a little bit of the bread for you. They won't put as much sauce on it. There's all kinds of healthy, vegan, nutritious options there. I'm usually not interested in any of them. I like big fat boy meat sandwiches. That's what I like. That's what I eat. Get yourself a bit. How about this? Hi, I'm Damon Bruce for Ike's. Even though there are vegetarian options in this promotion, I would like to steer you in another direction. Double the meat. Get big fat boy meat sandwiches at Ike's. You will be happy when you do. Download that app. Start earning your way to free sandwiches. You're going to be very, very, very happy. As you know, I love my sponsors. The sponsors that have been here with me, no matter how long that they have advertised, they tend to stick around even when they kind of go away. Again, we haven't been officially sponsored by Black, and yet here the whiskey is sitting right on the desk still to this day. And, smaller businesses can't, no advertising deal goes on forever. Now, maybe me and Ike's will be a little bit different because he's running an entire empire and we're trying to grow two empires together. We think we can help each other in those regards. Uncle Boy's is a small, local, family-owned burger shop with one location, plus they serve some burgers at a bar on Union Street, too. After several months of being a great sponsor here, Uncle Boy's and its sponsorship is ending today. Today is the final Friday of February, and they have decided, after realizing that they have certainly raised their brand awareness and they've got, there's a saturation point that a small business can achieve with local broadcasting and advertising. We've achieved that. And I'm really happy to have helped Uncle Boy's grow. Hopefully we helped Uncle Boy's get through some tough times, a couple of break-ins. And I love John and his crew very, very much. And they have been sponsoring the Good for Ball, Bad for Ball segment dedicated to our long-lost friend, Michael Urban, and his memory. So let me just say that even though Uncle Boy's is officially exiting as an official sponsor, Uncle Boy's will maintain a place of reverence and love on this channel and in this chat. And they are, how about this? Our business relationship might be over, but we're family forever. That's the way I really feel about Uncle Boy's. I love John. I think he's a great guy. I think he's got a great business. And I understand that small local businesses just can't advertise forever. They have certain budgets and certain windows. So it is with a heavy heart, but a full heart, that I say thank you so much to Uncle Boys for being a tremendous sponsor. We love you, Uncle Boys. You'll never be forgotten. You'll still get mentions. I can promise you that. And here they are sponsoring their final Good for Ball, Bad for Ball segment for Michael Urban. We will still keep the segment alive. Maybe get even a new sponsor for it. But in the meantime, we do love you, Uncle Boys. Good for ball, bad for ball, very personal. I'm going to tell you, in Mexico last night, fish dropped a tweezer into a tube, into a runaway gym, back into a tube. Oh, it was like a little 1.0 magic. I was very, very excited about that. That was good for Damon's soul. That was good for Damon's balls. Good for ball for Damon, anyways. For those of you who observed, this is like me, Smiley Dan, maybe Big Mac, a couple of other fish heads are in the chat usually. Good for ball, tweezer into tube, into runaway gym, back into tube. Great part of a second set last night. Very good show down in Mexico. Unfortunately, the Bruces were not in attendance. We like to be at these things. But it's been a weird year. Bad for ball. Our final bad for ball segment. Anthony Rendon. I'm looking at you, buddy. Anthony Rendon obviously is with the Anaheim Angels, and I appreciate the honesty more than apparently he appreciates baseball. And this is just something that you don't want to say out loud. I mean, I appreciate honesty, but please, little white lies help the whole world work smoother. In 2020, in an effort to build around Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, the Angels signed Rendon to a 7-year contract worth $245 million, and since they've done that, he's yet to play in more than 60 games in any one season. Always hurt, always something wrong. Rendon and his contract have been a disaster. USA Today reported that, speaking to reporters down at spring training, Rendon was asked if he was considering retirement last year, and he said that his priorities did indeed change. And when pressed upon how your priorities changed, Anthony Rendon said, quote, "Baseball's never been a top priority for me. This is a job. I do this to make a living. My faith, my family come first before this job. So if those things come before it, I'm leaving." Okay, first of all, just about everybody on planet Earth has their family and their faith coming before, something like a job. So to say that out loud means you're just dumb enough to be a baseball player, thinking that he's speaking on some sort of intellectual level that the rest of us need to get on. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It'd be like me saying, of all the women in the world, I love my wife the most. Well, no shit, Sherlock. That's why she's your wife. So Anthony Rendon loves himself, some religion, whatever religion that is, and he loves his own family. Good for him. Why are you shitting on baseball, though? Why would you say something when your effort level is always being questioned? How much you really want it? You just told us, don't really want it that much. It's just a job to me. Dude, that's just not what people who come to root for you want to hear. Most people would cut off a limb to play Major League Baseball if they could. And you're telling me you don't even appreciate the God-given gifts that you've had that have allowed you to make more money than you could make in any other way possible? You're unappreciative of it all? That's bad for ball. So let me put this all through the Bruce translator. Boop, 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 boop. Here's what he really meant. I'm a 12-year Major League veteran, and being at spring training is not fun anymore. I'm not enjoying this. I'm 33. I've got $100 million in the bank. The Angels suck. I'm part of the reason. We all know it. And please go bother Mike Trout now that Shohei Ohtani's not here. Way to go, Anthony Rendon. You are bad for ball. Uncle Boys, you are good for ball. You are good for ball, and you are on the circle. You are in the family of love forever, Uncle Boys. So, Cinematic Damon, whoever came in and changed your lighting, did a great job. You like that? You like that? It's amazing when you get somebody who actually knows what they're doing in here instead of just, a guy and his wife trying hard to figure it out. Like a little expertise goes a long way. It really does. Again, Big Mac says, I wouldn't be mad at the Brandon Staley hiring. It's just uninspired. Yeah, I know. And that's why I feel like it would be buried as part of a Friday news dump. You want a little inspiration? Look no further than the Golden State Warriors. They're delivering all the inspiration that you could possibly want, right? Well, here's the thing. Did you really beat the Lakers if LeBron's not playing? I don't care about the details. The Warriors need to stack wins, and they need to do it right now. And they put up a win at Chase Center against the Lakers. 32 points and 8 assists for Steph Curry. Trace Jackson Davis, 17 points in 18 minutes. He and Clay found a little two-man game, which was really good because Clay was absolutely awful coming off the bench where he was just 1 for 9, but he rebounded pretty well, played some good defense, and had a little something going with Trace Jackson Davis last night. 20 for Wiggins in one of his better efforts of the season. Curry and Kuminga were both a team best plus 25. Anthony Davis still got off 27 points, 15 rebounds in the loss without LeBron. Don't let Anthony's big game make you think that Draymond didn't play well against him. He did. Draymond played pretty darn well last night as well. And look, right now, he didn't have to burn the candle very much. He didn't play that many minutes, which is good on the front end of a back-to-back. How about this? Draymond Green continues to have career highs in three-point percentage, effective field goal percentage, and true shooting percentage. He is an offensive scoring force more this year than at any other point in time in his career. And him not being suspended, showing up, and getting the Warriors to play better basketball is a big reason why they've been on a little bit of a heater. They need to keep that up. They absolutely need to keep that up. 29 games remaining. They are now 1-0 in that 29 games, and hopefully they go to 2-0 because it's the Charlotte Hornets this Friday night tonight at Chase Center. So keep it going, Golden State Warriors. By the way, Steph Curry, man, just been unbelievable. 32 points, 8 assists, only 1 turnover, 3 steals, and 6 3-pointers last night. He has led the NBA in points scored since the trade deadline, according to StatMuse. That's pretty good. Shows you that Steph basically said, all right, we're going to do this. It's just us. All right, follow me. The most 30-point games on the 50-40 shooting splits, 50-40-100 shooting splits in NBA history. Curry's now done it 127 times. Kevin Durant, 72 times. Dirk, 57 times. I really got to take a leak. We've tried this one time before. I'm going to go take a leak. I'm going to be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Chat, you take it away. This came upon me quickly. I got to go take a leak. I'm not going to shut down, though. Everybody, handle it. Michelle Haberman, you're in charge until I'm back. I mean, when you gotta go, you gotta go. There we go. Probably the highest rated moment of the entire show. Way to go, everybody. Okay. Where are we? Whew. I'm going to tell you that as soon as I started the show, I'm like, oh man, I should have gone pee before I started the show. I could feel it. I could just feel it coming and coming and coming. And then I just couldn't help it anymore. I won't even pretend. That's one of those pees that while you're peeing, you go, ah. It's like the sound I make when I'm putting my socks on. Ah. All right. We can go back to drinking now. Coffee, drinking coffee. Oh, we're at the suggesting things to help the NFL. Tom C says, how about we get rid of that pointless 17th game? No, that pointless 17th game is one of the reasons why revenue's up, baby. They're not there. There will never be less football. There will never be less NFL football. 60-man roster would be legit. It also expands practice squads. Again, more people being in the tent is good. It's officially good for business. 60-man roster, so 2 kickers? Hey, there was a point where the Buffalo Bills were using like 2 kickers. They had Scott Norwood kicking field goals, and then they had somebody else like kicking off. You put it out of the back of the end zone. But no, you probably don't double up on kickers. Damon, you look like you've gotten some sun. Not at all. Nope, just better lit. Dude, lighting. Who knew? Certainly not the radio guy. Lighting, I never thought of lighting not once in my career. I honestly didn't think of lighting very much, even almost a full year into my YouTube career here. We needed to bring in a pro to fix that. The man likes his meat. Respect. I love meat. I have no follow-up to that other than, yes, meat. A couple of other things before we officially hop into Club Plus here and hang out for a little bit. Have you seen that Jordan Poole has been relegated to the bench? The Wizards have taken him out of their starting lineup. He's averaging 15.6 points on 40% shooting from the field and only 30% from three-point range. Everything that he was brought into the Wizards to be, he is not even close to being that. Jordan Poole is a little bit unfocused, a little bit mentally lazy, little immature, and these reputations have not only caught up to him, they've tackled him behind the line of scrimmage, and the Wizards have finally said, all right, dude, doesn't matter what you make. Enough is enough. Jordan Poole on the bench. So his splits are getting worse by the month, by the way. It's just not good. Another story that I want to get into before we tell you about another dearly departed family member. A newly discovered asteroid, the size, as it was described in the story, of 16 washing machines, will pass within 140,000 miles of the Earth, which is closer than the moon. Now, had an asteroid the size of 16 washing machines actually hit us, is that like a planet killer? I don't know. I guess my only real follow-up question would be, when did we start measuring things in washing machine circumference? Like, that's a new one. Washing machines? How big is that? It's about 16 washing machines. Who says that? Who says that? The Kenmore man? Is this Maytag in charge of units and measurements now? What? So, an asteroid the size of 16 washing machines. Like 16 washing machines? Like, what is that? What is that? Is that like the size of a garage? By the way, Uncle Boy's always going to be good for ball. You know it, Michelle. Sad to see Uncle Boys go. Always going to be a part of the fam. You know it. Joe Schmo still got to hit up Unks. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Uncle Boys not only grew in business, it grew my belly. Thank you, Nick. I'm glad you went so many times that it's growing your belly. And indeed, John is a great dude. It was great meeting him at Plus Mania 2. Otis, it certainly was. It was great having you there, and I hope you all plan on coming out for Plus Mania 3, which is going to be on March 3rd at the Halfway Club, 1166 Geneva. Doors at 4 o'clock. We're going to be going in. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be slapping backs and telling stories and drinking a few beers and eating some delicious food and supporting my friends who have opened up this awesome bar in the old Broken Record building. And Plus Mania 3, The Revenge. It's about time. AJ Cruz saying I might hit up Uncle Boys this weekend. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Tom C. I love fish. Well, again, if you love fish, you got to check out that tweezer tube. Runaway Jim back into tube kind of string that they put out last night. Sneaky Good Gumbo. Set One Gumbo. I like that. Birds of a Feather was fantastic. A Wave of Hope. Again, songs that go in the second song placement of that second set better be great jam vehicles, and Wave of Hope is officially turned into one. Got our man. Got our guy. Oy, oy, oy. Postman in Capitola. Love you, Uncle Boys. John is a good dude. He sure is. He sure is. Fish in Mexico. One day I'll get there. Get there. Oh, it's so great. It is so great. It really is. Of course, John Fisher could be our bad for ball at all times. The whole Drake's Brewery thing with A's Fan Fest, how inglorious is all that? That's just gross. That the fact that that team would put pressure on local businesses to pull out of a fan fest that the team has nothing to do with is just grotesque. There is no element of how the A's go about running their own business or treating their own fans that isn't detestable. They are the worst. So there you go. We're not going to be destroyed by an asteroid the size of 16 washing machines. Jordan Poole's going to the bench. We'll all survive that. Hopefully the Warriors can keep a good thing going. Hopefully we'll all survive whatever the official announcement is of who the new defensive coordinator of the 49ers is, whether it be today, this weekend, or early next week, or who knows when. It's got to happen soon, though, I would imagine. And, spring training's underway, but we'll worry about that when actually opening day gets underway, because what are we going to worry about? Fake baseball? We got enough real baseball to worry about. So before we hop into just the chat today, and know that today's not a Sports Phone Friday, so we're not going to do any calls today. Didn't get enough of them. People are a little shy, so you got to build up some gumption. Very sad to let you know that Papa Shasky has passed away. Now, if you are paying attention over to 95.7 The Game, you might have already heard about this, but Joe Shasky, the Butcher Boy, who is my radio son, Butcher got really interested in the radio when during a commercial break, I picked up the phone and told him, you could actually do this for a living, dude. You're such a good caller. We became friends. He became someone that I would bring into the studio. And now in one of the funnier turns of events, I am out of radio and Butcher Boy is in Morning Drive. I'm always going to be rooting for Butcher Boy. And by the way, congratulations to Bonte, who got engaged to Anna. So, as the world spins, we have families forming, and we have the passing of a family member in Papa Shasky. That's tough, man. When losing your father is very, very powerful. It's powerful medicine. And I wish Joe, his family, the very, very best in this trying time. And condolences to Papa Shasky, who, when I reached out yesterday, I called Butcher, I left him a message, and he wrote me back on text, and he said, yeah, we're dealing with a lot right now. It wasn't a surprise. The family was ready for it. They prepared themselves for it. But the thing that really, made me well up a little bit was when he said, "My dad loved you, Damon. Loved you." I was one of his favorite sports talk hosts, and that meant a lot to me because the Shaskys are like one of the first families of Bay Area sports, as far as I'm concerned. And Papa Shasky was king. So, long live the king. And rest in peace, Papa Shasky. All right. So there you go. That is today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in on the podcast, which is about to have, depending on the amount of downloads that come in before the end of next week. I didn't think that we would have a record podcast month in the month of February, but obviously there was a lot of attention around the Super Bowl. But I thought that attention would taper off to where we wouldn't have a better February than we had January, but we might even top January's record-setting podcast downloads. So thank you so much for getting this podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, you will find the Damon Brew Show available for you. And I thank you so much for watching and listening. And please, do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Okay. Again, forget about trying to beat LeBron, Michelle Haberman, stacking W's. All I care about, right? I mean, that's it. That's it. That's all that matters. All that matters. It's funny. Funny how there isn't an absurd free throw disparity when LeBron doesn't play. Funny how that works, huh? Erwin, you notice that too? Look, I don't dislike LeBron the way some people dislike LeBron. The guy's absolutely incredible. But hey, if he wants to miss as many games that the Warriors have remaining against the Lakers, it makes the Lakers easier to beat, and I ain't here for style points. The Warriors got 28 games remaining, and they got to go, 20-8. They really got to play 2-for-1 basketball, 2 wins for every 1 loss the rest of the way. Erwin. TJD is instant coffee. Just add minutes. He's ready to serve. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that an awful lot. Mike, stacking them. Rob T, I like this. God made Steph so LeBron can have a hero too. God, Steph was great last night. Someone was very excited about the chair hosting. Christopher, I'm glad you like the chair. Glad you like that. Again, Michelle Haberman got put in charge. Obviously, everything was working when I got back. So there she goes. Even Michelle said, all right, everybody, don't panic. Thank you. Michelle calming the room down. Thank you, Michelle. We've all been waiting for the Michelle Haberman segment. Again, you got it. It was the P of the day. Thank you very much. Oy, oy, oy. Drum roll. You might be right about this. These are old man problems. I don't know if it's the bladder, the prostate, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Yeah, peeing comes on. Look at it this way. When you're in your 20s and you're in your 30s, your body telling you have to pee is more of a suggestion than anything else. Like, it's like your body's telling you, like, do you think you should maybe go to the bathroom here in a little bit? You maybe you get in your 40s, your late 40s, and your body's basically saying, like, I'm not just suggesting you go pee, I'm almost demanding it. That's the difference. The suggestion turns more into a marching order, and so is the glory of the aging process. Ooh, do you like that side chair? Steely Dan, Smiley Dan. Steely Dan, Smiley Dan. Little side chair action. Could have used some more frontal. Oh, did you get the side chair boob? Is that what you got? Everyone likes a side boob, right? The side boob wasn't around when I was like in high school. No one even thought of that. I don't know who came up with the side boob, but nice job, everyone. Good job, ladies. Jude says, only D. Bruce could pull that off without clearing the room. Again, this just lets you know that I am merely the vehicle through which the show happens, but I am not the whole show. The chat is the show as well. This isn't me talking at you. This is me talking with you, and you can talk amongst each other when I'm not even here. And it might even get better. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. No, it was just a P for those asking if there was more going on there. No, there was nothing more going on. I mean, I don't need to give you any gory details, but I also would. Sometimes you just got to go. The chair was holding it down. So everyone is reviewing that. Michelle kept the inmates in line. Nice job, Michelle. AJ Cruz approves of what you did while I was away. There you go. Did Damon leak break over under 2 per week? Oh, no, you can take the under. This isn't like an ongoing problem. We've done, I think, 222 of these shows now, and there's only been 2 pee breaks. So that's a pretty good track record, right? Erwin asked a question I did not want asked. Damon, did you wash your hands? No, I didn't. But I do need to let everyone know. This is very important. My dick is immaculate. I mean, you could eat off my dick. It's so clean. At all times, it's so clean. It's like one of the cleanest dicks you're ever going to see. So I'm very proud of that. Tell my boys, wash it up. Having, cleanest penis gets the win. Again, we're oversharing. A little bit of Leslie Nielsen. They could go, imagine if I brought the mic into the that would be kind of funny, right? The chair did great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Question from CT9er. Damon, how good could the defense be with Bill Belichick coaching it? Historic or just a very good defense? Hey, I think they're a very good defense with Steve Wilks coaching them. You bring in the best defensive coach in the history of football, I think you got something special. And for those who keep on telling me either in chat or on Twitter when they see a video how crazy I am and they're saying, look, this guy's so close to becoming the all-time winningest head coach. Why would he take a defensive coordinator position? Well, it's not ideal. It's certainly not the draft pick that he would choose. But there are no head coaching vacancies in the NFL. Basically the league is moving on from Bill Belichick, and if he wants to stay involved in any other way other than in a media capacity, there is one job remaining for him, and it just seems perfect for him. All the stuff that he detests about being a head coach, you don't need to worry about that anymore. Just X's and O's, and it never snows. That's how I would sell Bill on it. Damon, did you lean against the wall, though? No, I don't have a urinal. It's not a urinal. I have, it's a normal toilet. There's nowhere for me to lean. You just got to kind of stand and go. Oh, maybe it's not even the lighting. Jared says Damon's color's better because his liver is now functioning again from Las Vegas. Yeah, I'm not jaundice anymore. Oh, here you go from Michelle. Soft lighting definitely complements your complexion. Well done, lighting team. There you go. Hey, I've always said, if you want a better looking Damon, turn those lights down. Stephen Cass says asteroid to collide with Earth as ends of days is real. Look, it could happen, right? It could happen, but it's not going to happen. But still, 140,000 miles, that's close. Something that's 16 washing machines big. True Blue Forever with a great follow-up question. Is that a front-loading washing machine? I don't know. I'll tell you, my beautiful wife, my amazing wife, I almost put something about laundry into our actual wedding vows because that's how much I hate doing laundry. And God bless her. We have absolutely no okay, that's men's work, that's women's work. I'm not like that at all. I am Johnny. I will do the dishes inside. There is no kitchen task. There is no cleaning task. There is no yard work task that I won't throw myself into. I don't do laundry. It's just part of the deal that you get with Damon Bruce. And that would have applied to anyone. I could have been married. It didn't matter who I married. I wasn't doing laundry. I could have been a flaming gay man, and my same-sex partner would have had to have done the laundry. I don't do laundry. I do laundry, like I take laundry out. I pay someone to do it. I don't know why, but it is my least favorite household chore there is. I would rather scrub tires, white wall tires, than do laundry. Like I cannot stand laundry. I don't even know why. There's a machine doing most of the work, but I hate the folding. I hate the putting away. I hate the separation of the whites and the colors. I hate it all. There's not a single aspect of laundry I like. We have 2 beautiful brand new washing machines. Well, washing machine dryer set. I told Jillian, I'm like, you get the Rolls Royce of fucking laundry. Whatever's going to make you happy, you do that. Thank you, Jillian, for doing my laundry. There are lots of things I love about you, but that is like right up there if you're watching. Again, now I'm measuring things in washing machines. I'm measuring love and happiness through the prism of washing machines. It's not just a unit of measurement. Damon, the halfway club is not going the way I want the whole way club to do. Don't do things halfway. Well, Steve, it's called the halfway club because that's what they called the workers who fell into the safety net while they were building the Golden Gate Bridge. All of them went into the Halfway to Hell Club. The name of the bar was going to be Halfway to Hell, but then they were given some advice saying, like, the minute you put the word hell in the name of your bar, you're going to scare away families from coming to the restaurant that you're opening. You're going to scare away people, and they're going to think it's a biker bar. And so instead of calling it the Halfway to Hell Club, they just call it the Halfway Club. So they're going all the way with the halfway. 49er Ultimate Report. Fun fact, asteroids always pass by the Earth, but every now and then they pass by the area between the moon and the Earth. Yes, absolutely. And when we know that there's a trajectory of that, we start worrying about things, and it makes the show, and it could be a planet killer. And this is the anxiety that we keep on signing up to have. Damon, I think one of the names for a Plus meeting should be the Damon Strikes Back. It'll happen eventually. Again, every Plus Mania is going to come with a number and a subtitle. It was Plus Mania 1, then it was Plus Mania 2, Electric Boogaloo, Plus Mania 3, The Revenge. We'll see when we're striking back, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes from here. It should have been maybe Plus Mania 3 in 3D. I was just in a vengeful mood, I guess. Let's agree. Damon Bruce is the god of truth. Well, geez, that's an awful lot. Thank you very much, Red Jet Shell. Look at it this way. I guess that there is so much bullshit out there that when someone just talks honestly, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And that should be good for the channel. Hit like and subscribe, everybody. Like and subscribe. Memberships available. Should you want to do that type of level of channel support. But just like and subscribe. JJ Rader, who's officially in charge of the ganja jar. I have a decorating idea. When the Plus grows, you'll have to move out of the basement, so you should decorate the new room with the help of Ike and make it look like an Ike's store. So one of the things we might do is the room that I am sitting in right now, we might shift the room. We might arrange things differently in here and maybe even get like a mural behind me where maybe the Godzilla kicking over the Sutro thing is painted, some Ike's, something. So we won't just have to have the cardboard cutout of Ike's behind me at all times. We're figuring things out. We are figuring things out. Sacking. You're the man, Bruce. No, you're the man. Thank you very much. Sacking. R.I.P. Papa Shasky from True Blue Forever. An awful lot of people are coming in with that. Rockin' New Era 84. Legends Pizza. Always good to see you guys in the room. Yeah. R.I.P. Papa Shasky, man. Great guy. Great guy. I mean, I can't claim to have known him very, very well, but I met him more than once, and he was always wonderful. He was a Facebook friend. Nobody loved rounds of golf or being, out coaching a little league or baseball or softball more than that guy. Just a great guy. And I think you can always measure a father by, what's their son like? And I love Butcher Boy. Butcher was a legendary caller throughout the 2000s. He sure was, man. Sure was. And, without a doubt, congratulations to Bonte. Got down on one knee, made an honest woman out of Anna. Very, very nice. Here's the thing. I reached out to both Bonte and Shasky yesterday for two totally different reasons. One to say rest in peace. The other say congratulations to the beautiful life you got going forward. So, Damon and Joe Shasky's paths to and through one another is both parts awesome and ironic. San Bruno Mike, thank you very much. You're dealing with a loss in your family this week as well. Again, it feels like these things happen in threes. So everybody, take care of yourselves out there. Give someone you love a call, a hug. Do it today. Don't wait. Never daunted. Can we get 2 seconds on the coaching grid of Terry Moren in Bloomington? She's better than Mike Woodson. And based on the threes that these chicks hit, they might be able to beat the men's team. Caitlin Clark in Iowa rolled into Assembly Hall last night, and Indiana's women beat them bad. So, again, I'm not going to go hopping onto the bandwagon. I'm not going to pretend that I care much about Indiana women's basketball. I don't follow the sport. I've seen Caitlin Clark. She is a very special bucket getter, but she didn't get them buckets in Bloomington. Play a little defense. Win a few games, baby. Love the show. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Jaggio56. Don't forget to hit that like button. Again, I can't hit the like button. That's up to you to hit the like button. Everybody hit that like button for me right now. Why not? It takes no skin off your back. Go ahead. What else we got? True Blue Forever wants everyone to know I'm cool with side boob. We've reached the side boob portion of the show, everyone. Great set of moobs. No, we don't want those. All right. Ricardo. Damon confirmed Kyle Shanahan's going to be the OC, the DC, and the head coach. Might as well be special teams coach, too. I want Kyle to take something off his plate. Take something off the plate. Okay? Take something off Kyle's plate. Who could take more off Kyle's plate than Bill Belichick is now your defensive coordinator? Like, you don't even have to go into a single meeting on that side of the ball as long as Bill's in charge of it. I have died and gone to Plus heaven. Well, thank you, Red Jet. Thank you. Thank you. We've reached the immaculate penis portion of the show here in the chat. Clean schmecky. Gonna want it. You're gonna want that. Clarence the Cannon. Damon's dick is immaculate. My wife was in the room and asked, what was I watching? Well, just Damon, honey. There you go. Chef A. Clean dicks. Happy Friday, everyone. Exactly. We want to sterile units. Sterile units. That's what we're looking for. We're all looking for sterile units. This is Juan Santa Maria. Okay, if that's your real last name, spectacular. Damon, what's the story behind the wacky voiceover that you and Larry do at the end of your wake-up sessions? It's hilarious.
Well, one of those impressions is about Trent Baalke, who was a famous weekly guest on my show many, many years ago, and Trent just talked like this.
So one of them is an homage to Trent Baalke's era as 49ers general manager, and the other is an homage to the late, great Ralph Barbieri, who we're never making fun of when we do our Ralph impressions. We just loved Ralph. Both Larry and I had an awful lot of respect for Ralph, and we want to keep his memory alive, and for some reason, poor Trent Baalke got roped into it as well. It's the only really good impressions that both Larry and I actually do. And depending on whose voice is warmed up more in that show, I don't even know who's got the better Baalke or Ralph. Larry's got some great Ralph in him, some really good Baalke in him too, and I would say the same. So that's how we end those shows. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's how we end the shows. Let's see. Getting back to Bill Belichick, it's all about money for Bill. It's about all he does is still want to coach. If he does, I expect it's the Niners. I mean, here's the thing. There's no amount of money that you can't give him. And if you're trying to win the Super Bowl this year for reals this time, there's no amount of money that he wouldn't be worth. Make him the highest paid defensive coordinator in the history of football. Pay him more than Kyle. I don't care. And if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I don't care either. If Kyle Shanahan is only given half credit for winning a Lombardi trophy, that is half credit more for winning a Lombardi trophy than he gets credit for losing all of them. I wouldn't care anymore. My ego would be dissolved into nothing had I lost 2 Super Bowls. I wouldn't care who gets credit, who gets the accolades, who gets the praise, who gets the positive media attention. I wouldn't care about any of that if I were Kyle anymore. Not a fraction of it. Nick J. Folding laundry is a task sent from Satan. I hate folding laundry, right? I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Damon, hell is doing laundry forever, right? It's brutal. Chef A, I measure my life in coffee spoons. Wait a minute. No, I don't. That was T.S. Eliot. Oh, we're talking about laundry front loaders. Yeah. Oh, by the way, very good pull. Very good pull right there. Crash Test Dummies. I love that song. Afternoons and Coffee Spoons? Or is that the name of the album? What's the name of the song? I'll be pajamas in the daytime. That's a great song. I love that song. Truck Stop says, I'm not driving during the show. I'm doing the laundry. Bless you. Okay. Smash Mouth is in here. Just saying, Nick. Nick who? Nick Wright? Nick what? Nick at Night? Nick in Time? Either way, hello, Smash Mouth. Good to see you. Or is that, no, is it their lead singer? Is that who you're saying is the other passed away member? Maybe, I don't know. But his name wasn't Steve? I'm sorry, I forgot. Either way, welcome, Smash Mouth. All of this 95.7 stuff is news to me, as when Damon and that crusty old man got fired, I stopped listening. Well, on behalf of me and the crusty old man, thank you. Those women took care of in front of a full house. Assembly Hall was rocking. My buddy Tom Ackerman went out, brought his daughters. So there you go. Padraig, who is contacting us from Ireland. Damon, have you ever tried Irish food in places in Ireland? I've never been to Ireland. And if I were to go to Ireland, there's nothing I want more than just a pint of Guinness. Culinarily, it's not the most renowned country in the world, right? I mean, the best thing that you can get in Ireland is Indian food, right? Isn't Ireland like the home of great Indian food? I'm not going to tell any potato jokes. Oh, look, I'm sure there's something great there. But I just don't know. I don't know anything about, I've never been to Ireland. Santa Maria. Isn't that, I hope that was his real name. Isn't that great? J49 knows it's Balky and Ralph. Again, it's now that we're doing a much more national show because it's on YouTube, therefore global, we should probably work in more explanations of very Bay Area local jokes and humor, but Larry and I will get to all that too. Otis would know. Both impressions are spot on. Trent talked a lot, Damon, yet he never said anything. Oh, he could filibuster, Mr. C. He could filibuster with the best of them. Let's see. Jude saying Larry's Ralph sucks. D. Bruce is the winner on that one. Where I think Larry, though, is better is just the way he starts turning. He's like, well, I was talking to Ralph and I was talking to Tate and I was talking to Tom. Like just the stuff that he says. Like Larry's got more of like Ralph's vocabulary down. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Hashtag hygiene. Hashtag cleanest penis. No doubt. Juan Santa Maria says, Damon, I love the story. And yes, Santa Maria is my real last name. I can go enjoy my weekend now. What a great name. Juan Santa Maria. That's, by the way, that's the only way you should say it. You should never be like, hi, my name's Juan Santa Maria. You should hit Santa Maria as if you were selling tickets to an island of Santa Maria and you're trying to make it sound as sexy as humanly possible. Welcome. Buenos dias. Me llamo es Juan Santa Maria. Oh my God, that's incredible. It's an incredible name. So are we good? We got everything? I think we're good. CG Ruthless. Yo! What's going on, CG? How are you, man? Was it Nick Van Exel? Nick Bosa? Where'd that Nick come out of? I don't know. It's good to have Smash Mouth here, though. Smiley Dan says, Damon, it sounds so cliche, but the Guinness is so good in Ireland because they can keep their Guinness, I believe, in wooden barrels in order to ship Guinness internationally. They got to be in rubber kegs or metal kegs, and there's a little bit of the tinny flavor that can get lost in that, and all the beer lines and all the lines that beers have to go through for the draft. And there's a lot of things that can screw up a Guinness. The temperature at which it's served, how it's poured, it's a fussy beer. But when done right, it's the king of beers. Screw you, Budweiser, not you. R. Lee dropping a super chat, our only of the day. Thank you very much. I'm hearing that Brandon Ayuk is exhibiting signs he may hold out next season, but doesn't have another year left on his contract. Can you please explain? Well, that's what happens. If you want more than 1 year and you said, I only got 1 year left, you basically said, I'm not reporting until we get something done. If I were Brandon Ayuk's agent, I wouldn't want him on that field with a 1 year deal either. What's Brandon Ayuk with a torn ACL? That is less valuable when he hits the open market. That's why I wouldn't want him going into a lame duck year. And look, the 49ers, you don't walk away from a guy like Brandon Ayuk. You just don't. He's too good. He is your first wide receiver to go back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons since Anquan Boldin. It's the wrong time to take a guy like that, a weapon like that, away from Brock Purdy. It's the wrong time to figure out, we throw the ball less than anybody, and therefore we can't have this much money invested in our starting wide receivers. Couldn't you make the argument the other way around? Like you throw the ball so little that your two wide receivers need to get the job done whenever it comes to them. Therefore, they're more valuable. I don't know. I just keep Brandon Ayuk. Figure out the math of his contract somewhere else in this roster. Damon, the Quackers. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Hey, the Quackers. Quackers. So there it is. True Blue forever. He's caught on to me. Just keep scrolling. Just keep strolling. And that's what I'm doing here. The chats keep on coming in. I just keep scrolling. We've officially reached the end. There it is. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you so much for already making plans to come out to Plusmania 3, The Revenge, on March 3rd, 4 o'clock, Halfway Club. I know that Larry Kruger and I will be back at it Monday morning with a wake-up for you to start your week next week, and that will make sure that we are in position to cover any news about this 49er defensive coordinator position should it come down on Monday morning. So Larry and I will be up at that. Wake-ups are going to be coming to you 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, starting in just a couple of weeks. So lots happening. Thank you so much for being a part of this, for supporting this. And oh my goodness, Chef A just coming in, sprinkling. Just sprinkling, like spices, like salt, like pepper. Thank you, Chef A, for a little sprinkle. And thanks to all of you. Everybody, have a great weekend. And please do remember, I love you. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.